Ciao, my friends. Day number 29 of my lack of social interaction. You saw this morning, I already uploaded a video because I did a walk. 11 kilometers, walked all the way around the city. Bottom of my feet, I got a blister on both of them. I didn't sleep well last night. I slept for maybe, I don't know. I went to bed probably 12:30, 1 o'clock, finally fell asleep and was jolted awake at like a little before 4 o'clock. I was up here drinking coffee at 4 o'clock. And then I thought, you know what? I need exercise. So I'm responsible. People shouldn't be out and about too much, but I was responsible. I left the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, walked clear around the city. I didn't get close to anybody. Okay, I did wear a mask, and I'm so sick of you people. The reason I wore a mask out there, okay, I have this on. There's no pockets here. There's not that thing. I wish it had that. That would make it perfect. I wore a mask because my plan, since I was walking clear up by Autobuska Stanica, I wanted to go into that big Tempo or the Lidl. But I get there, and there was actually a line of people, so I said, forget it, okay? So I kept my mask on. It doesn't have, I can't hang it around my neck. I can't put it in my pockets or it would ruin it. So I just left the damn thing on, okay? Better safe than sorry. Maybe I'm not paying attention, okay? And I'm looking at the red light and there's a little old lady that stands right next to me and I accidentally cough in her face, okay? So, shh, had like 15 people. You don't need to wear that mask if you're not going in public. I was planning on it, okay? Jeez. There's my daily rant. No, there's going to be another one because I've got some people that just pissed me off here. Just insanity in some of the comments here that I'm gonna read in a minute. Anyway, my friends, I hope you're well. I did all that 11.2 kilometers. It took me 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's also a stop at the shop up here. I stopped up there too. So that was good, really good exercise for me. I feel better, came back, ate, took a little bit of a nap this afternoon, so I feel okay now. I'm drinking some of these little vitamin-y things. Some no alcohol, okay? So you don't have to lecture me for that. Anyway, here we go, my friends. Let's start with the numbers here. Do you wanna? Serbia surpassed 4,000. Oh, we did yesterday too. 94 deceased here in Serbia. 4,465 afflicted. We're up 411 from yesterday. 9 new deaths today. So it's a pretty big death toll today. God rest their souls. America's up to 598,000. 11,000 new cases. 24,000 deceased, 1,100 died just today. Very bad, you know? Anyway, what do we got here? You saw previous, that nice video that Serbian gentleman, Dimitria, in Queens, New York. He sent me that video. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. I hope things are starting to slowly get better for you folks in New York. You know, what a nightmare. Financially, physically, just a absolute nightmare for all of you folks over there in New York, you know. Thank God I'm not in a massive mega city during this, you know. Here in Novi Sad, it's okay. It's easy to get around. But wish you well, Dimitria, and thank you. Here's what's in the news. Serbia, this was an article, the headline says, Serbia is moving towards EU and that direction isn't changing. That came from the head of the EU delegation to Serbia. He doesn't think, after all the hubbub that was in the news about Serbia turning its back on the EU and focusing on China and Russia, he said he doesn't think Serbia is turning its back to the EU and favoring Chinese assistance over EU assistance. He's aware, or he's confident that Serbia appreciates what EU has done. What has EU done? He said in January, the EU delivered 56 tons of medical supplies to China and returned thousands of people from China, including a lot of Serbian people. Now China's just doing their part. That's what he said. So the EU helped China when they were struggling, and now China's just paying it back. He said he listed off what the EU has done here for Serbia recently. The EU's assistance to Serbia, we sent 93 million euros, of which 15 million euros were for emergency medical aid, and 78 million euros were for economic recovery. They sent 9 cargo planes with 300 tons of medical supplies, materials. And just recently, on April 3rd, they're allowing 4.5 million additional euros for face masks, respirators, etc. Okay? So EU is justifying itself here. Bosnia was in the news. I don't know why I'm throwing Bosnia in really quickly. I found this kind of funny, and I never mean to put down our neighbors in Bosnia-Herzegovina. I've got friends that are in the Federacija. I've got friends that are Serbian, from the Serbian Republika Srpska. I love them. They're just great people, just like people here. I really adore them. But anyways, in Sarajevo, it said over 700 doctors and medical staff have taken sick leave during this pandemic. The headline said medical staff on false sick leave. So they said that since the height of the pandemic, they suspect that many of these 700 doctors and medical staff wanted to avoid the virus, so they've asked for sick leave. He claims, the person who spoke, his last name is Izbegovic. I don't recall what he was, something to do with maybe the Minister of Health. But he said he's bumped into many of his colleagues and the doctors in the streets. And so the government has ordered tighter standards for granting sick leave to their doctors and nurses. So, yeah, isn't that great? You go through all this to be a doctor, and this is the time doctors are needed. And then you say, oh, I got a little bit of a cold. I need to stay home. Yeah. Way to go, Bosnia medical staff. Let people fend for themselves, huh? Chinese President Xi Jinping announced his visit to Serbia. Vučić and Jinping spoke by telephone yesterday. Vučić continued to go on and thank them so very much for all the fine things that China has done, and Xi Jinping thanked Vučić and wishes all the best for Serbia, and he's welcoming Mr. Vučić there later this year, and he's actually going to be coming here to Serbia at some point this year. I wrote my notes really bad on that. I said something that wasn't too polite, so I didn't want to read that. That's how I remembered what I was going to say. A lot of controversy yesterday. As soon as I uploaded the video, I read something that I didn't talk about yesterday. The geriatric center down in Niš, Serbia, over 140 folks are in that old folks center. Have came into contact with the coronavirus and have been have tested positive for COVID-19. And it's the government, the government's job is to keep that from spreading into those things. So Predrag Khan, he posted on his Facebook page, there was an article. It said, "Time to step back and let better ones lead the pandemic." It's something I didn't mention. At that medical center, they actually went in and arrested the director. He's a 47-year-old, I don't recall his name, but they arrested him for letting this breach of corona get into that, because that's like a brush fire. I mean, all those old folks. So they arrested the director yesterday, and there's been a lot of stink out there on who's to blame for this. So the head epidemiologist, Dr. Predrag Khan, he posted on Facebook yesterday. Here was his post. He says, "As far as I can see, the main culprit for the virus penetration into the gerontology center in Niš is me and my expert team." It's time for me to step back and let the better ones lead the pandemic. I don't know better, and I can't do better. I will not wage wars against anyone but the virus. I am constantly mentioning all thinking people and how all the anger, instead of being directed at the virus, it is turned on me and my team. It's time to get away, temporarily shutting down. All the best, Dr. Predrag Khan. So he posted that. So a lot of people are throwing the blame right back on Predrag Khan. And the good thing about him, he actually took this. He said, hey, I'm to blame. More or less, he said here, the buck stops here. The buck stops with me. I'm done. I didn't do my job correctly. I'm out of here. That's something my president refuses to do and has never one time taken the blame for something that's gone wrong in the United States. And that's one reason why I detest my president. But good on you, Mr. Khan. But shortly after he posted that, or he posted that last night. Then today he was on Prva. I think it was Prva or Pink TV. Afterwards, he met with Vučić, President Vučić, Prime Minister Brnabić, and he has chosen to stay. They talked him into staying in his position. So his threat of leaving is gone. He's staying. Brnabić and Vučić talked him into staying. Svaka čast. The curfew. This is something that's still unknown as of yet. They had the curfew last weekend for Protestant, Catholic, Gregorian calendar Easter folks from 5 p.m. on Friday until Monday at 5 a.m. Dr. Topavcevic, she said that she thinks more than likely it's going to be the same curfew. There's been talk it might be Thursday through Tuesday or whatever, but they need to let us know soon. I didn't see it when I made this video, so if it's changed now, please tell me, would you? Also, Dr. Topavcevic, they asked her about this, when we can expect to get back to normal. Somebody said, do you think it'll be June or July? And she said earlier. She said, I can see the end. So, Havala Bogu. Another thing I wanted to mention here, I had a gentleman. He asked me, he didn't tell me his name, but there's a young lady, she's darker skinned gal. She's from the South America. He's been trying to get her to come to Serbia for numerous years. And he said, Charles, I would appreciate it if you could say something to her. She's scared about her safety. Okay, let me tell you, when it comes to safety, that is the last thing you should concern yourself when you're planning a trip here to Serbia. Of course, there's the possibility of crime in your own home, okay, wherever you're at in the world. But here, that is something that never crosses my mind, with the exception of the little post-it note that was on my door that said, I watching you. Other than that, I am in no fear here. I am a man. Yes, I'm a man, but there's so many female travelers that come here alone and have the time of their lives and have never had a scary situation arise. I've got many, many friends and contacts on my Facebook page. On Facebook, I've got like 35,000 followers and 5,000 friends, which is the maximum. So many are females who come here. I've got an African-American young lady who comes here every single year. She spends her summers here. She has no Serbian blood in her. She's from Louisiana. She's a nurse. I will get you in touch with her. I've got a friend from the Dominican Republic who comes here every year. Or I don't know if she comes here every year. She comes here frequently. I'll get you in touch with her. What I do here, I'm a program manager at this agency that sends almost 1,000 Balkan students to the USA on a U.S. State Department program called Summer Work and Travel. It allows students to work for 4 months. We find them jobs, housing, and everything. Also, I bring over lots of Americans here from the United States of America. All these managers, business owners to hire our students face to face. I bring over numerous women, and so many women have this fear that everything you hear about Serbia, unfortunately, Serbia, most things you ever find or hear are about the 1990s. It's so unfortunate. You hear about the Bosnian conflict, the Croatia, Kosovo, and it's all made Serbia look to be aggressors, which is the farthest thing from the truth. But what was my point here? All of these ladies who I bring over year after year, they come here with a little hesitation. At the end of the night, they're like, wow, I saw a girl walking at 2 in the morning in the middle of the city. I can't believe it. Wow, we can go to the ATM here. Wow. Just so thrilled with this place. So you don't have to worry about safety here. Only thing, maybe pickpocketing. The Roma population, not to put down the Roma population, but they're impoverished folks. A lot of times little kids are going to come up, money, 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 money. They know the word money. And they can crowd around you, you know, so they stole my passport at one time, but that's really the only thing that I would ever say. Also, football gear. You're a woman, but I don't think you would be any fear for danger. But a guy, usually when I talk to somebody who's planning a trip here who's never left the USA or wherever, and they want to come to Serbia for the first time, all of them ask about safety. Usually my only tip is don't wear some of the local football jerseys. Everybody wants to do that. When you go to a country, you want to buy that football jersey. Here it's like Crvena Zvezda, which is Red Star, and Partizan, black and white and red and white. Don't buy those and wear those around because there's big groups. The only criminal element, well, there's a criminal element, mafia and different things, but you're typically not going to have to worry about them. The only ones you'd have to worry about are hooligans in Roma. But just don't wear the football jerseys and you're going to be fine. You're going to love it. People here are nice. They're not going to have anything to say about your skin color. If anything, it would make you feel special. They're going to ask you for pictures, maybe. That's what the girl from Louisiana would like you to speak with. She told me that. She said one time we had a coffee, and I said, "How is it to be black here?" And I hate to even say that because I come from the USA. We're very politically correct, so I hate to use that terminology, but I just did, and I'm not going to edit it out. How does it feel to be black here in Serbia? And she said, you know what? I'm from Louisiana. She said, if I go to a small town in Louisiana, a small white community, and I walk into a store, everybody's going to look at me and stare like, what the hell are you doing here? She said, here in Serbia, when I walk into a place, everybody stares at me, but they're like, wow, why would you come to our country? And they'll come up, can I get a picture? Sleek, come on. They want a picture. It's nice. They're just looking because they don't see that many. But my recommendation is speak to these young, lovely young ladies that come here all the time. And I've got numerous friends and friends that come here all the time, females from the United States, solo travelers, dark complected, light complected. I can get you in touch with them. Send me your email address and I'll just send you their Facebook links after I speak to them to assure you that you're going to have the time of your life, honestly. Last but not least, this pissed me off, okay? I posted some pictures from a long time ago, my friends, on my Instagram and on my Facebook. Okay, I had the opportunity to meet a guy named Sergei Trifunovic, okay? Sergei Trifunovic, right there. That's Sergei Trifunovic. That was one picture. I met him again the next day. He gave me his email address. He gave me his phone number. He was really nice. This is back in about 2013, okay? I was a VIP at Nishville Jazz Festival for 2 years. When I was down in Niš, I knew the director, and he gave me VIP passes. I could go backstage. I met Clint Eastwood's son. I had a drink with him, a beer. Me and him had a beer. He was so cool. We talked about his dad. His dad was almost going to be there, but something came up. And then I was walking. Me and my friend, he said, hey, Charles, that's a famous Serbian actor, and he has a band here. And I said, wow, what's his name? Sergei Trifunovic. He said, don't even bother going up. He's an asshole. He won't talk to you. He's just going to be a real prick. Everybody told me that about him. I said, you know what? I'm going to go up anyway. I went up and I said, hey, excuse me. Are you that actor, Trifunu? He said, yeah, where are you from? I said, the United States. He said, oh, wow. I said, can I get a picture with you? He said, sure. What are you doing here? And I said, well, I live here. I make videos about Serbia. I'm living in Niš, actually. So we just had a nice conversation. He put his arm on me. We talked for about 5 minutes. He gave me his phone number because I said I might want to do a video with him. He said, sure. Next day, I called him. And I said, hey, Miss, he answered. And he said, I said, is there any way we could get together? He said, I can't. He said, I got to do some press briefing and something else. And he said, I can meet you again real quick. So I went over there where he was, got another picture with him, and then he gave me his email. He said, email me later. I'm always around Serbia, and we can find a time to meet. Okay? I did not ask his political leanings or whatever, so don't slam me for getting a picture with someone. Here's what the lady said that just pissed me off. She said, look at this guy getting pictures with Serbia's biggest enemy. I've also seen him praising the Croats and Muslims. We need to know what his real motives are. I read so many praising, nice comments about me, and then I read that, and that just fire went off in my head. And I thought, you know what? Who is this bitch? I looked at her channel. She has like 2 subscribers. Just an angry, hate-filled witch. And that just burned my ass. I will get a picture with whoever I damn well please. I would get a picture with George W. Bush and Donald Trump, 2 people that I absolutely despise. I would get a picture with Adolf Hitler if I saw Adolf Hitler walking the streets. I'd get a picture with anybody. I don't have to agree with them, but him, in my defense, I knew nothing about him. I didn't know what he thought about the government or whatever. That's his business, okay? My business is somebody tells me, hey, he's famous. I want a picture with them, okay? Jesus Christ. And about Croatians and Muslims, I looked through my Facebook page. I probably got about 100, what was it? I counted the other day. Maybe 60 friends in my friends list named Mohammed. I've got a ton more named Ahmed. I've always been somebody, even years ago in the USA, I was always interested in those people my government says are bad and we should not like, more or less. I reached out to many Muslims all around the world. I went to Somalia. I went to Ethiopia. This Muslim family made me a birthday cake and had a surprise birthday party for me. I was in Somalia with tons of Muslims. One of my best friends from years ago was from Libya. I love everybody. Croatians, I absolutely adore the Croatian students that I have on this program, the summer work and travel program. I lived with Croatians. I lived with Serbians in the same house, Croats and Serbs. We formed a brotherhood. I love them. I don't care about what happened, what their great ancestors did. My ancestors did bad things to you too, probably. They did bad things to the Vietnamese. They annihilated the Indians. Are you going to judge me because of my, who was it? My great, what would that be to me? My great, what do you call your grandmother's brothers? I can't even think of that off the top of my head right now. My grandma's brothers, she had like 6 brothers and all of them served in the army. One of them died in France at the Battle of Normandy. Are you going to judge me for maybe they shot some innocent person? I don't know. Don't judge me for that. I judge people based on how they treat me, okay? So you can live in your little bubble and hate whoever the fuck you want to, woman. But get out of here and get off my channel. I don't need you. I don't want you. I have no desire to ever even look at your name ever again. Okay? Next comment. Charles, they didn't say Charles. You are using Serbia to promote yourself. Be careful. I'm using Serbia to promote myself. She posted this on my 1,002nd video, okay? I've been making videos. My first video upload, I think I looked, and it was 2008. It was a Mexico video. That was the first video I ever uploaded, so I lied to you. I thought my first video ever was my opinion of Serbia, but I uploaded a video from La Piedad, Mexico. When I lived down in Mexico, I was intoxicated. My buddy was intoxicated, so I'm not so proud of it, but yeah, biga. And then I moved to Serbia. Reason I started making videos is because I looked on YouTube for videos about Serbia. I found nothing from a regular American talking about Serbia, so I started making videos about Serbia. I did not do it to promote myself. I didn't expect anybody would even watch it. I made my first video about Serbia. It's called My Opinion of Serbia. It's like 3 minutes. I sat down. I've got a headset on. I'm in my office, my classroom in La Piedad, Mexico. And I said, hi, my name is Charles Cather from the middle of the United States of America. Don't believe the propaganda. Serbians are not bad people. They're great people. They treated me like a king. Don't let the international media affect your opinions of a great people, Serbia. Živala Serbia. That's what I said. I did that for my friends here, you know? Stupid, spur-of-the-moment thing. And then after that, I moved here and I continued to make it because people said, hey, I enjoy it. I like to see your videos. So I'm not promoting myself. I don't make very much money on this, you know? I'm signed up with Google AdSense. If I post videos constantly, which I am now, I'll get about $160 a month, okay? So yeah, I'll pay my rent here for these videos that I've done, documenting my miserable existence here. But I have absolutely no reason to use Serbia. I want your passport. Your passport will be framed in a very nice golden frame and placed in a very nice place on my wall. Okay? I'm not doing it to promote myself, you witch. Kuchka. I don't care if it's a bad word. I don't care anymore. It pisses me off when I get treated like crap. That's it for me, my friends. Do viđenja. Vidimo se sutra. Ciao.